What is up, everybody? This is Terry Walker for Off the Mat Wrestling. I know it's been quite a while. Moved to a bigger place. Told everyone it was going to happen. As you can see, a lot bigger kitchen, bigger dig. So, still annoying children. I do apologize. As you just heard. I haven't done fan mail in a while. It is Fan Mail Friday. I will try to get this video uploaded before midnight, so it is still Friday. If it does not load in time, I do apologize. But we're going to jump right into it. You guys sent in a lot of questions. Like I said, I hadn't done videos in a while, so YouTube inbox was full. Off the Mat page was full. I had people commenting questions. Really love the feedback. Love that you guys are getting into it, commenting, sending me stuff you want my opinion on. Very heartfelt thank you. You guys keep me busy. Sometimes I don't get the videos out as much as I should. The Facebook partners aren't always happy with me about that. Sorry, guys. But, everyone does have a life, and other stuff does come first. Moving and my kids will always come first. Yes, Brian, I am wearing my Houston Texans hat. Don't get the colors mixed up with the Patriots. Texans all the way. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get right into this because, I don't feel like being here all night, to be honest with you. So, question 1 was, your thoughts on Edge's first match on SmackDown 11 years? I know Fastlane and Mania has already happened, and we all know the outcome. Roman kept the belt. There's a lot of stuff that could have been done, even with Edge being put on top of Daniel Bryan. Roman paused and posed for the cameras for like 5 seconds, and then put his boot on Edge to pin Daniel Bryan. So technically, Daniel Bryan's shoulders were down for an 8 count. So technically, I would have thought Edge had the count as well, and they could instantly set up a rematch for Backlash. It seems like they're going another route with Cesaro, which I'm very happy for. Cesaro's been kept down for a long time. Anyway, enough about that. I thought it was actually a good match. The first time on SmackDown, it was huge to see Edge come back to SmackDown. 11 years, he comes back and has this match. It was a great match. Jey Uso really has earned the moniker and the nickname of Main Event Jey Uso, because since turning heel, signing himself with his cousin, you can't lie. He's main evented SmackDown pretty much every night since. He's had great matches. He's worked with some great people. And putting him in there with Edge, we all thought maybe he'll have some ring rust. No, because his matches with Orton, Mania, greatest wrestling match ever. He had the following pay-per-view with them. He didn't really show a lot of rust. It was definitely good they gave Edge a match before Mania. I would rather see him take on Jey at Fastlane and just have Roman and Daniel, because we all knew Roman was going to kick the belt anyway. But it was a really well-structured match. Worked good with Edge going into Mania. They really beat the daylights out of each other. I enjoyed it. Everyone likes seeing Edge back. It's sad to see he didn't get the Cinderella story of the comeback and winning at Mania. Sponsored by. But it was definitely good to see. That's my thoughts on that. Thanks for sending in that question. Alright, moving on to number 2 for fan mail this week. Christian had his first match against Frankie Kazarian for AEW. What is your opinions? I really had to reword that question because whoever sent that one in, you don't need to be by a keyboard, honestly. I think when it comes to Christian joining AEW, sadly, we didn't get to see WWE work out a contract with Christian. That does kind of suck, honestly. I'd like to see him back there. However, if you look at his track record, Christian really shined as a main event in TNA. Let's see, I'd say 2006 to his departure from the company. When he left WWE, no one really thought that he was a main event caliber, wrestler. He was always tag team, a couple European title hunts, that kind of stuff. And when he went, he came in, beat Jeff Jarrett for the NWA title, showed that he belonged in the main event, showed he was of that caliber, he was at that level. Came back to WWE, had a few world title runs that were very short, and a lot of people say it's only because Edge retired, so they gave Christian the belt. But, I mean, it is what it is when it comes to WWE. People that would leave, went to TNA and came back, they didn't really treat fairly. They never really... Let's just be honest. Christian was always underrated. Give the guy his dues. He's a great worker. Veteran status. I wouldn't say legendary yet. When he retires, maybe. But definitely a ring veteran. Been around for quite a long time. So, yeah, seeing him go to AEW, it's good to see Christian back in the ring. Good to give him he's getting his chance. I thought they really did pick a good opponent. Like I said, being in TNA, Christian had a lot of great matches. Frankie Kazarian and Christian, yes, they had a couple matches that were ladder matches, but there were matches to where either they were in 6-man tag matches, regular tag team, they had a few one-on-one matches. They honestly always looked good together. They always work good together. Frankie Kazarian is another one, just like Daniels. Those two have been held down so long in their career. They should have been world champions in quite a few companies, TNA. I'm glad to see Daniels got it in Ring of Honor. I've always been a Daniels fan. Fallen Angel, hell yeah. But, yeah, having Christian's first match against Kazarian in AEW just made sense. Some fans loved it. Some fans enjoyed it. While the others didn't. Honestly, if you look at that match, you can even go back and look at that match. That was a well-structured, old school textbook wrestling match. It was easy to see the spots coming, yes, but Kazarian was able to slow down, keep a pace that Christian could work with at in his age, and neither one of them looked like shit. The match, looked good. They both came out on top. Christian gets the win. It was great. There's a lot of other people I like to see Christian go against. I like to see him go against Cody Rhodes. Sadly, we just seen on AEW that he decided not to join Team Taz, which we all kind of seen that coming, and the beatdown that ensued afterwards. Okay, so Christian's gonna outwork everybody. I'd like to see him and Ricky Starks, actually. I think that'll be a damn good match. Starks kind of reminds me of a young Rock. He has the look, he can talk on the mic, he can get it done in the ring. So I think him and Christian be good. I'm glad to see Christian's wrestling and not just, on-camera coach or cinematic matches. Yeah, I'd like to see him and Cody, Christian and Omega would be good. Don't really want to see him and Moxley go at it. Christian's not really that kind of forte. Let's see. He already did it with Kazarian. Him and Brian Cage, yeah, Christian has the ability and the experience to take down like powerhouses, but it just wouldn't really make sense to me because the styles in the ring would kind of clash. But yeah, Christian's match with Frankie was a damn good match. It was good to see him debut in AEW. It was good to see him really have a good match, and like I said, some people loved it, some people didn't. Everyone's allowed to have their own opinion, but I thought it was a good match. For a debut match and working with Frankie the way he did, I thought it was good. Alright, moving on in the fan mail, question 3. If you could bring one tag team to AEW to face the Young Bucks for the belts, who would you pick? I love this question, especially after we've seen the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, Young Bucks joined in with Twinkle Toes McFingerbang, who is Kenny Omega. Finger Fucked Freddy, which is my nickname for Don Callis. They turned heel and joined them with the Good Brothers, and I don't have a weird nickname for the Good Brothers because I actually like their work in Japan. Not much in the States. But I was glad to see this question in the inbox after everything going down after this past AEW Dynamite where they ripped the mask off of Phoenix. Everyone knows that's a big no-no. You don't do that to a luchador. That is a disgrace to Mexican wrestlers. That's just the most disrespectful thing you can possibly do. But yeah, they did that. So I actually took some time and thought about this with all the tag teams out there in the world right now. I kind of drew one out of the hat that a lot of people aren't going to think. They'll think teams in AEW, some WWE tag teams would also be good against them. But if I had to bring one tag team in the AEW to challenge the Young Bucks for the titles, I'd bring in Ring of Honor's Briscoe brothers. Any wrestling fan out there that knows the Briscoes and knows the Young Bucks can't tell me that would not be a pay-per-view worthy tag match. The Young Bucks would be cocky ass heels, and I know technically the Briscoes are too, but it's very simple booking. You have the Young Bucks stay as heels, the Briscoes come in as faces. The Young Bucks are going to do their gymnastics, their flippy shit, their super kick party, try to outnumber everybody with their Bullet Club and Elite. And the Briscoes are just smash-mouthed hillbillies that don't mind to get into a fucking fight. So yeah, I picked the Briscoe brothers from Ring of Honor. I would love to see them come to AEW and challenge for those titles. That's my pick. Thank you for the question. That one, like I said, took me some time. I went through a lot of teams, and I was like, you know what? This would be the best in my opinion. Alright, moving on for question 4. This is for you NWA fans. Like I said, I answer a lot of questions. I draw some out for WWE, Impact, AEW, National Wrestling Alliance. I just pick them out from random. So when I post this in groups, it's got stuff to do with everything. Alright. Question number 4. Hey Terry, I always wondered, after looking at NWA's top 50 stars of all time, I noticed Tom Rich and the Kabuki Warrior was on there. Between the two of them, who'd you like better? Ooh. You could really go either way with that. Tom Rich was a damn good worker. So was Kabuki. They had a lot of good memories. Gave us a lot of great content to watch. My personal favorite between the two, I'll say, was Kabuki. The face paint, the mystery to the man. He'd hit you with them chops. He could hit you with them kicks. Great guy. That's my pick between the two of them. I would say the Kabuki Warrior. I love Tom Rich, don't get me wrong, but just a personal favorite. Alright, moving on to the end of tonight's fan mail. After fan mail, I'll be doing another video about the recent WWE releases, because, wow, y'all flooded the inbox with that one. Alright, question 5. Do you think Al Snow Do you think Al Snow got a bad shake in the wrestling business? Oh yes, definitely. Al Snow was always in shape. Sadly, most of his wrestling was more so a comedy worker only. He had good matches in ECW. He really did. Coming to WWE, the Ninja Avatar, I believe he also did. And all other stuff. We all seen him. The most thing he was known for is carrying the mannequin head around with his entrance. What does everybody want? And the answer was obviously head. Which, hey, who don't? But, yeah, sadly, most of his stuff was known just to be a comedy work. You got the Job Squad, him, Blue Meanie. I was glad to see him, back as a teenager, see him in the hardcore division. His match with Hardcore Holly going into the sound, landing in the water. All his matches with Boss Man, when Boss Man killed Pepper, fed it to him. But yeah, sadly, I would honestly say if you want to see some of the good and better matches for El Snow, either his hardcore runs with the title or even in the matches alone, or honestly go a little old school, look up his work in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I always thought his promos there were funny, they were entertaining, they were good to watch, his matches were always good. But yeah, El Snow definitely got a bad shake in wrestling. He was a guy that was always in shape anyway. And he just did his thing, and sadly he got lost in the shuffle, became a comedic wrestler, and it worked. He made money in the business. He stuck to what he could do, and kept his family fed. So my hat's off to him. Sadly, I really do think he got a bad shake when it comes to wrestling. Great coach, great trainer, but Sorry. Alright, question 6 on tonight's fan mail. Under the TNA banner, what would you say was the best match for the NWA title? Now, those that, we do have some young fans. Those that don't know, in the early TNA years, NWA TNA, National Wrestling Alliance Total Nonstop Action, is what that was. TNA was partnered with the NWA, flew underneath the NWA banner. So there was a lot of title matches that consisted of the world title being the NWA 10 pounds of gold. There was so many great matches. And even looking back now, I was... The first years of TNA, I believe I was 12, 13. I'm 33 now. So yeah, we're looking 20 years ago. And yeah, wow, think back of all the matches, and then you also got to stop and think back to which ones were under the NWA banner. So I picked 3. I know everyone will comment in the video, be like, hey, and there's one comment right there. Everyone's going to have their own personal ones, so I picked 3 of my favorite ones. Yeah, there was a lot of them, but I'll give you my favorite 3. I would say Sting versus Jeff Jarrett for the NWA title will always be one of my personal favorites, while TNA was under the NWA banner. Sting was retired. Jarrett's got his whole group. He sends Alex Shelley to go and record Sting, playing golf, picking up his kids from school. Sting comes back at the next pay-per-view, not as Sting, just as his regular self, Steve Borden, no face paint, no nothing. Lays everybody out. Ends up getting dropped by Steiner returning. Comes back and leaves for a while. And goes into trading and, secrecy and in seclusion. I loved his ring gear when he came out for that match. He came back and beat Jarrett for the title. Kurt Angle was the special enforcer for the match. I mean, it was honestly a well put together match. And him and Jarrett had a great chemistry in the ring. I think you could put those two even in the ring now and they still would. Number 2, once again, Jeff Jarrett's in the match because back then, under the TNA banner, Jeff Jarrett had the title a lot. Like a lot. Like Rodney Dangerfield would say, lot. But Christian, when he debuted in TNA, when he took on Jarrett for the belt, he finally beat Jarrett and got the NWA World title. Like I said earlier in an earlier question, really solidified himself as a main eventer. And number 1, I mean, who could forget about this? Ron Killings beats Ken Shamrock for the NWA World title. That's definitely my number 1 victory. R-Truth was known then as Ron Killings, and before then he was known as K-Quick. But Shamrock won the title after winning the gauntlet in the over-the-top battle royal. He throws out Malice in the end to win the NWA title, and then Ron Killings is the one to beat him. That's another one. Side WWE is not using R-Truth. 48 time, 49 time, 24/7, 7-Eleven, blah, 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 blah. What the fuck ever it is. Champion right now. And yeah, you should just let him be Ron Killings and let him actually show the world what he can do. Those are my personal 3 under the NWA banner for TNA. Hey Terry, I always wondered this question and been meaning to ask for a long time. Name your favorite masked wrestler. My favorite wrestler wearing a mask? I'm gonna say the Punisher. For those of you that caught that, thank you. Nah. Honestly, favorite masked wrestler, Kane. Will always be one of my personal favorites. Ever wear a mask. You got Rey Mysterio. Old school Mil Mascaras. Can't ever go wrong there. Mankind. Would Chainsaw Charlie's pantyhose on his face be considered a mask? Let me get back to you on that. But yeah, there's so many, but Kane, Mysterio, Mil Mascaras, Lucha Brothers. To pick just one, I guess Rey Mysterio and Mankind. close tie. Kane's definitely up there. I mean, shit. When I grew up, Laparco was still in WCW. Juice and Thunder Liger. Can't knock him for what he's done in Japan, the United States. There's so many mass wrestlers when you ask me that question, and I think just picking one, that's another one that's really tough. But yeah, Rey Mysterio and Kane for mine. Alright. Question 8 tonight. If Edge ever wins the belt from Roman, should he retire the Universal belt and bring back the big gold heavyweight belt that he technically never lost? Ooh. That's a damn good one. And that's a damn good point. Why not? I'm sorry, but the old big old belt looks a hell of a lot better than that crappy ass blue Universal title. You can have the WWE title and bring back the world title. It's the way it should be. That's the way it was before. You know, if somebody wins the title, they have the opportunity to redesign it how they want. I would love to see Edge bring back the world title, the old big gold belt, and it definitely looks better than the Universal title. He has every right to do it. He never lost that title. It would make more sense in the storytelling. I never lost this. I just got it back. This is the title for SmackDown. And honestly, if you think back, that world title had like a namesake on SmackDown. A lot of people held that belt under SmackDown during the whole roster and brand split when it actually meant something. You didn't have stars going to both shows. No, if you're on SmackDown, you're on SmackDown. If you're on Raw, you're on fucking Raw. But I'd be all for it. A lot better than the Universal title. Hey Terry, with the recent WWE Hall of Fame class, what are your thoughts of RVD finally going into the Hall of Fame? Oh, well deserved. RVD, ECW, during the invasion, the hardcore title, working with Angle and Austin the way he did, going all the way back, like I just said, to ECW. TNA, I mean, the man's been around so many companies. Good work, world titles, longest television title in ECW, former tag team champs. Him and Sabu's work, oh man. Him partnering with Kane, him coming to WWE, like I said, working with Austin, Angle. Had some great matches, Intercontinental Champion. 5-star frog splash, can never go wrong. I'm glad to see they put him in the Hall of Fame, and I'm glad WWE has not decided to have a separate wing for just ECW stars. I know a lot of fans out there like they should do a whole different wing just for ECW people. Why? Most of them came from ECW and had more success, honestly, in WWE. They'll always have the ECW memories, but look what he's done since. So no, it's really good to see RVD in the Hall of Fame. I think it's well deserved. I loved how him and Matt Riddle were sitting there and RVD rolling papers. Somebody commented, I believe it was Nick Smith that commented and made me completely spit coffee through my nose. If they're going to have RVD rolling papers, it should be called Rolling Thunder. Yeah. That was amazing. Alright, go ahead and moving on tonight to number 10. Like I said, I got a whole other video I got to do after this. Alright, this isn't really a question. It was more of a booking challenge that somebody commented, so I'll see what I can do. Book your own Elimination Chamber match for SmackDown using only members of the SmackDown roster. No Raw or NXT. Let's see. Elimination Chamber is what, 6 people? 4 in the pod, 2 start. Okay. You got a nervous twitch or something? I was kidding. Oh, that's my wife, the one that helps me run the page anyway. Without her, most of the shit wouldn't get done. Keep it up, I'm taking your crayons away. Oh! Oh yeah. She'll get to SmackDown later. Alright, but 6 people for a SmackDown Elimination Chamber from the current roster? Man, if I could go back in the past, I could really put a good one together. Oh boy, let's see. Daniel Bryan has to be in there. Kevin Owens. Ziggler. Ziggler can work with anyone and sells like a fucking machine. One of the best workers to have on SmackDown, honestly. Let's see here. Daniel Bryan, Ziggler, Owens. Big E. Why not? Powerhouse, can move, agile. Roman Reigns, for obvious reasons, he'd probably be the champ going into the cage because McMahon has a boner. And last but not least, Edge. Comeback story. He's won titles in Elimination Chamber matches before. Why not have a Cinderella story there? Alright, and it looks like that was our 10 questions for fan mail tonight. I will see you guys in the next video. Going to be talking about the recent WWE releases and where I think they should go. You guys asked, so I'll give my opinion. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. See you guys later.